Welcome, everybody, to another rousing round of Roseburg speakers and storytellers. We pride ourselves on learning and having fun at the same time. Looks like we're going to have an intimate meeting today. That's fine by me. We have several smiling people. And I love to see your smiles, so stay on camera if possible. At this point, I'll give it back to our presiding president, Yasmin. It's all yours.
Thank you so much, Sergeant of Arms Tiger, for opening the meeting. Yet again, a wonderful Monday. Welcome you all. Welcome to see many of you after a long time. No, there's no one who is here after a long time. We were all here almost regularly. But yes, maybe connecting from different part of the world. We do have guests, but I don't feel like to introduce them as guests because they have been with us for last meetings, couple of meetings, and they were very much part of RSS family. So welcome Anuradha, welcome Akansha. And we have a wonderful Toastmaster of the day today. She is a multilingual person who has mastered languages with no correlation, English, Spanish, and German. She is a Mexican living in Berlin for many years now and always amazing us with her graceful presence. Yes, our very own Sarah, who's going to be taking over as Toastmaster of the day for today. Sarah, please. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Yasmin, for that nice introduction. Let me tell you one story. When I just started working, my first work after university was in the shop floor of a car maker. Together with other 2 or 3 people, we were in charge of a large team of people working exactly in this shop floor. I had no experience. So sometimes some people approach me to ask me if they were doing their jobs right, if they could change something in their processes. You know, in a factory, everything is very manual. I had no idea. But since my position was to be a coordinator, I could not say just, I don't know. So what did I do? I just listened carefully. I asked some questions like, and what's your opinion? What will be the consequence of changing that? How could you do it better? What's your recommendation? And at the end, they got their own answers. From that time, I learned that a leader or a team coordinator doesn't have to have all the answers, but this is like a person that can guide the team to find their answers, their way. Fellow Toastmasters, the theme for today's meeting is leadership. And I'm happy somehow that we are in a cozy meeting because then we have time to share some stories, some learnings about our leadership journey. For example, for this session, as you know, we will have 3 sessions. In the first one, we have the prepared speeches, as we usually do. Then we have the funny part with the table topics. And finally, we get the feedback, which help us for the growth and for the development. And during this session, we will have a team of leaders that will help us that this session goes in a very smoothly way. And that's why I will introduce them, and I will also say thank you, some of them, for jumping in the last time. This is also one skill of leaders. And yeah, without further ado, I will introduce Michelle, who will be general evaluator, but also will give us the word of the day. So, Michelle, before you explain your role, please tell us some brief story about your leadership experience.
Thank you, Sarah. As I was listening to you, I was also thinking, oh my first leadership experience, very similar to yours in the sense that I had no experience. I was what you would call a greenhorn. But people thought somehow that I could be the employee development manager. And actually, they decided, no, it should just be the HR manager. So it was an even bigger scope. And I knew nothing really about HR. I had done training, but training is not HR. HR is much broader. So I ran to the bookstore. I got this thick 3-inch book called the Labor Code, and I read it like my life depended on it. I put tabs on it and everything. Seriously, tabs. This is topic in case. It was extremely difficult. Like you said, you would get asked questions. But in my case, it was labor law. It was how do you deal with HR issues? And I guess somehow I did what you were doing. I would ask questions. I would listen. I would think instead of opening my mouth, which was very hard because I like to talk. I would just close and ask questions and listen. And it turned out I actually was considered a very good HR manager. Go figure. So it's not talking and giving the answers, it's helping other people to arrive at the answers and do the right thing. In fact, if I can segue to word of the day, the word of the day I chose to match leadership or for this theme of leadership is influence. And influence can be either a noun or a verb. When it's a noun, it is the power or the capacity to effect indirect. It doesn't have to be direct, indirectly other people. And then of course, if it's a verb, to affect them. So I have I just grabbed that from Merriam-Webster. So I have several definitions of the word influence. So everyone find a way to use influence during the meeting, either as a noun or as a verb. It can be both. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for your story. You are influencing us to become even better leaders with it. And I hope when we finish this meeting, we can have some other stories that can influence us, but also that can help us to influence others. Another very important leadership role for this meeting today will be our guest, Akansha. And Akansha will be a counter. Akansha, could you please share one story very briefly about your leadership and then explain us about your role today?
Hello, Madam Toastmaster, and hello, everyone. Today, I will play a role of as an accountant, and I will give you a report at the end on the usage of some repeated words and some unused words which are used by all the fellow Toastmasters. This is my role of today, and now about leadership. So, meanwhile, I'm not such experienced a leadership because in my I'm still continue my studies, so there's no incidents in my previous life that I performed like a leader, so I don't have any experience of a leader.
Thank you, Akansha. I'm sure you have experience as a leader, but you haven't thought about it maybe until now. But hopefully by the end of the meeting, you have some
Okay.
examples, some story to share.
Yeah.
And now I will go to our timer. Ayu is taking the role as timer today, which is another very important leadership role in the meeting. And I want to hear from Ayu some story about her leadership journey and also what is his role today in the meeting. Here.
Thank you, Sarah. Today I will be leading as a timer because I will show the background of colors. Green will be time that when we can still talking or speaking or sharing our story. Then the yellow means it's approaching to our maximum time. And that will be the time when we just quickly wrap up, get to the conclusion and wrap our speech. In terms of the question, I will say, I remember leading my siblings because in the middle of the night, we were all would like to have something to drink, but the house was dark. So all of us, with me in front of them, 3 of them behind me, we hold hand and I lead them to go to the nearest fridge and open the bottle and then let the smallest one, my brother, to drink first, and then the second one and the third one, and I am the leader, drink the last one, but I drink all the water in the bottle to finish. So that is my memory in the childhood when I become a leader of my siblings. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you for sharing, Ayu. That's a very sweet story. And that's true. That's another story of leadership. Now, before we continue to the first part of the meeting, let me share with you some definitions of leadership. I found a lot, but this one I really liked, and I think it aligns totally to our club, to Toastmasters. The definition of leadership is to influence, inspire, and help others to become their best selves, building their skills and achieving goals along the way. Even if we always hear this word leadership in the context of business, you as an individual, you are also a leader because you choose to live your life. So don't think about a manager or a CEO as leaders, because leadership is also a set of skills and a certain psychology that I know that anyone can master. And with this, I want to go to the first part of the meeting, which is the prepared speeches. Our speaker today has also a very long experience with leadership. So before presenting him with the title of his speech, I want to hear one short story about leadership. So please, Tiger, share with us something.
Well, one of my favorite stories about leadership is actually in my speech. So I will tell this story. There's somebody here, I won't give you any information about who I'm talking about, but she's wearing red. For several years, bugged me, nagged me about getting involved with district leadership. No, I just want to tell stories. I don't want to have anything to do with district leadership. But finally, she broke my arm, and literally it hasn't healed yet. It's still a little limp. And she got me involved with area director, area 21 director. Another person here who isn't showing herself, I wouldn't want to give away any names, convinced me that if I was going to be the area director, especially now that everything was online, that I should go to these people's meetings regularly, which I did. And as I went to these people's meetings, I ended up joining 2 of the 3 groups in my area because I came to find out that these people, being that they live in small towns, they're Oregonians mostly, totally related to them, and I ended up joining their clubs. So I became very close with them. My way of leading is I don't tell people what to do. I give them the information, I discuss with them, but I do not tell people what to do. It was a great experience, and because of that, I now have met a number of great people in Southern Oregon. So I thank both of these people from the bottom of my heart for pushing me to where I did not want to go.
Thank you, Tiger, for sharing that. So that means that those people were a great influence on you. With this, I want to introduce Tiger as our speaker today with the speech title, More to Give. More to Give, Tiger.
Imagine 6 o'clock in the morning, walking into your 88-year-old mother's bedroom and finding her dead. Sons and daughters, how would you feel? As I reached over and touched her hand for the last time, I thought about her last words to me. Tiger, please do not give up hope. I know you have more to give. My response, Mom, I have no more to give. My tank is empty. The day after my mom's funeral, I was driving to the Oregon coast. There's only one idea I had in my head. I was going to take this old car, drive it off a cliff, and take my own life. Mom, I have no companionship. I have no job. I have no meaning. And I am deeply depressed. I have no more to give. As I got close to the cliff where I was going to end my life, was a complete peace. And my life ends now. The next morning, I woke up in my own bed, and it dawned on me that something was obviously wrong. Didn't I drive my car off a cliff last night? Was that just some kind of weird dream? Was my mind playing tricks with me? Then I heard a spiritual voice. Tiger, it was I that prevented your death. It's not your time. You have more to give. More to give? Wait a minute. Had my mom been conspiring with God? As you can imagine, at this point, I was confused, discombobulated, somewhat lost. Then I got a phone call. Have you ever gotten that phone call? The one that has the potential to turn your whole life around? It was a former Toastmaster mentor. She'd been after me for years to come back to Toastmasters, and she informed me that there was an online club that wanted to meet me. I had nothing to lose, so I joined. I was greeted warmly. I was treated with respect. Ergo, I joined the club. Do you remember your first speech on Zoom? I had no idea what I was doing, and I was all over the place, talking about riding my bike as a kid and playing American football as a teenager, cutting trees in the forest. Yeah. Despite my antics, I got a good evaluation as a storyteller. My evaluator suggested I might want to learn how to use the Zoom stage a little better, stay on camera. And in time I did that, and I had a lot of fun telling stories. Was your mom ever right about anything? My mom was right. I do have more to give. I have more to give as a storyteller. This experience gave me the confidence to join a small local club, a struggling club. At our last meeting, there were 3 of us. And our president announced that he'd been deployed to Africa. Put his hand on my shoulder. Tiger, you are now the president of this club. The president of what? My partner, being eternal optimist, convinced me that with her online connections and my leadership skills that we could turn this club into an online success. And lo and behold, with an assist from COVID, we did just that. My mom was right again. I do have more to give. I have more to give as a leader. And speaking of leadership, I would love to sit here and tell you that I got involved with the district simply to give back from the goodness of my heart. The reality is, I did it to impress a woman. And hey, it worked for a month or 2. I wish I could go back in time and thank my mom for encouraging me even in my darkest hour. Obviously, I cannot turn back the hands of time. What I can do here today is to share with you those words of encouragement. Regardless of your circumstances, everybody has the opportunity to give. The best part about this story, we all have more to give. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tiger. Very inspiring indeed. Also to our session theme, leadership. Thank you for sharing that story of courage and leadership. Now to go to the next part of our session, which is the fun part. I want to give you some skills that I found in the internet about leaders, and one of them is, for example, decisiveness. It is valuable because it can help the leader to move projects along faster and to improve efficiency. Another very important skill is integrity, because it's often seen as a simply truthfulness or honesty, but it also means having and standing by a set of very strong values. I will give you some other skills in the next parts of the meeting, but now I want to introduce the table master of today, which is also a guest, and she is Anurada. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And
Okay.
Anudara, before you start with the table topics, could you share with us some story about your leadership journey?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. I don't have any much more experience of leadership, but little bit. When I am in my school and many competitions I participated, and in these competitions we play many teams, and many teams I play the role of leader, and I am also the monitor of my class, and now I am teaching the student of first 0 to 5th class. So I think in little way I play the role of leader. So I have only this experience of leadership. So today you all know that I play the role of table topic master. Table topics help member to train the quickly organize and express their thoughts. You can think the table topic speech is a mini speech with a opening and body and a conclusion. And each speaker is required to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, and each speaker must use the word of the day in your speech. As you all know that today's theme is leadership, and it is very interesting theme. So as I am the table topic master, I will put some question in front of you, and you will give some your opinion on the questions. So for my first question, I would like to invite Yashmin ma'am. Yashmin, are you like to take this question?
Yes, please.
Okay. So your first question is, what does leadership means to you? What does leadership means to you?
What does leadership means to me? Or who, let me say what I am looking in a leader. I have reached a phase in life where I'm expected to take more responsibilities with every passing day. Because now I cannot hide as being a teenager. I cannot hide being like a smaller girl. And my hair are defeating me because they leave the impression that I am no more like enjoying just being like, oh, like I'm a small child. So my looks deceive me now, and I have to really step up into situations because people do expect me to make a call. What is very easy for me, and which I see and I have noted in other people around me who I consider leaders: maintain integrity, be honest, and stay committed. And this is something I realize is easy for me to adopt, which I put up as important qualities for being a leader, or is important for leadership. But at the same time, I do realize I lack some qualities. And as I take up roles, I realize these are also very important leadership qualities, which is decision making. For me, it's really difficult to decide. So for me, a good leader is also one who can decide quickly, judiciously, wisely, staying neutral. And this is a quality I would really like to gain over the time. I have given myself 10 years. I believe it will be enough. And after 10 years, I will be able to say happily that yes, I stand as a good leader. Thank you, and giving it back to you, Anuradha.
Thank you very much, Yasmin, for the great answer. So, for the next question, I would like to invite Missel. Missel, would you like to take this question?
Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Your question is how leadership affect us. How leadership affects us. Are you hear me?
Yes. How leadership affects us. I love that question because I have seen it happen in my own life, and I have seen it happen in the lives of many other people, especially those who say initially, oh, no, no, I'm not a leader. I can't lead. Leadership, by its very nature, when you seek to influence others, somehow the first person you're influencing is yourself. If you are really honest about yourself, like Yasmin mentioned, there are many things that we, all of us, still need to develop in ourselves. And as we seek to influence others, we realize we better be a role model for whatever it is. I have many examples. I'll share one. When this was in the so long ago, in the early 90s, I was certifying to become a 7 habits facilitator. And one of the 7 habits was to put first things first. And I am not good with that. I will procrastinate on things that I don't want to do, and I will do the things I want to do, even if they're not important. And the 7 habits had a quadrant, urgent but not important, important but not urgent, and all of that. And I would always miss quadrant 2, which was important but not urgent. Those are the things like, never mind, I can put them aside. But those were the things that mattered. And I realized if I am going to be a facilitator, if I will be seeking to influence others to do that, to practice that habit, I should do it myself. So I tried really, really hard. I think I improved, but after I stopped being a facilitator, I started backsliding. Anyway, to your question, yes, leadership definitely affects us and also other people around us. And there will be more examples of that as we go on. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Michelle, for the beautiful answer. So, for the next question, I would like to call for this question. Tiger. Tiger, would you like to take this question?
No, but I'll take it anyway.
Okay. So your question is, what qualities should be needed to be an effective leader? What qualities should be needed to be an effective leader?
A really good leader needs to be lazy. Now, I know that most of you are thinking that doesn't make any sense. However, think about your bosses. Which boss would you rather have? The person that works all the time, they come and tell you all the time, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. Or we rather have the boss that knows that you know what you're doing because they hired you, and they ask a very simple question. What is it that you need from me? How can I help make your job better? If you're that kind of boss, you don't have to work very hard. All you're doing is helping people. I'll give you a quick example. I was coaching soccer, and for years I controlled everything, and I spent 20 hours a day planning my practices and my game plans and all these things. I had a group, 12 guys who had been playing for me for 4 years, and they came to me with a contract, and the contract was very simple. Coach, we're going to do everything. All you have to do is determine who's going to play where and how long they're going to play. That's it. We take care of everything else. My first reaction is, are you guys insane? And the leader just looked at me and goes, Coach, just think how much better and easier your job will be. Just kick back. So I literally go to practice, sit there on the sideline, drink my Coke, and let them lead themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, this is brilliant. A good leader, you don't need to be telling everybody what to do all the time. Get good people, trust them, and when they need help them out. Now, to me, that's my definition of lazy. To you, hopefully that's a definition of a good leader. Back to you, Toastmaster, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Tiger, for your great answer. We are agree with your opinion. So, for next question, I would like to invite Jerry. Jerry?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Your question is, tell us what about your leadership style? Tell us what about your leadership style?
What of my leadership style?
Yes.
Okay. I think my leadership style is several words: empowerment, trust, coach. Because I think why these three words can conclude my leadership style. First, empowerment is very, very important. You need to give the authorities to you, to the people around you. You cannot do everything by yourself. You cannot just give orders to others to follow. What you need to do is give the people the right to make a decision by themselves, so they can take ownership of what they are doing. Second is trust. So many leaders, maybe they will speak empowerment, but in fact, they cannot trust the people around them, or the followers, or the subordinates. So they can help interfering the decision making. So it cannot be happen of true empowerment. The third one is coaching, because as a leadership, you need to jump out. You need to step out to help them, to coach them when the people around you or the followers have any troubles or have any issues. You need to help them. So my leadership style, three words: empowerment, trust, coaching. Thank you. Back to Toastmaster, table topic Toastmaster.
Thank you, Jerry, for answer.
Anuradha, are you there? Okay, I'm not sure if this is an internet glitch at her end. No.
Okay, maybe I can share with you some other skills of a leader and wait 2 minutes if she reconnects.
Yeah.
One other skill is communication, exactly what we are learning here at Toastmasters, because good leaders can clearly explain things to their team, from organizational goals to very specific tasks. What else? Flexibility. A good leader should be flexible, accepting last-minute changes or new issues. They should also be open to suggestions and feedback. Another skill is the positive attitude, because they know that a positive attitude can go a long way in the workplace. You work to create a positive work environment, and even during stressful periods. Anuradha, are you back?
Yeah. There
Okay, great.
is some issue.
No problem.
Okay. So I would like to invite last time. Are you? Are you comfortable to take this next question?
Sure, Radha, sure.
Okay. So please share any experience of your life where you had to take leadership.
I am always thinking that I need to know things. That's actually lead me to always learn what is behind everything and wants to know someone before someone quite good, you know someone quite good first before asking her or him to be in my team. There is a moment last March. It was my division open house and contest. And that was the first time I feel like out of control because I don't know what will happen inside just because I don't get anyone in the registration position. So I took the place. That night, I could not be there in the run through because everybody was like doing registration last minute. And at the end, at that night, I said to myself and pray to God in the room by myself, touch the seat and say, God, I just want tomorrow to be smooth. I am lost at this moment. What will happen tomorrow? The next day, the open house start, the contest start. I was sitting outside doing the registration, waiting for the guests to come. And again, I said, oh my goodness, what will happen inside? I don't know. I know my team, but still some insecure inside. After everything done, that is an aha moment for me. Trust my team. Everything was smooth. Just cannot believe. That is a moment when I see a leader kind of lost, but then because of the team. So for now in my mind, team, member is number one. Thank you for asking that, Anuradha.
Thank you, Ayu, for the great answer. Thank you very much. Okay, my next and the last question is, and for this question, I would like to invite our Toastmaster of the day, Shara.
Okay.
Okay. Your question is, what advice you would give to someone taking leadership for first time? What advice you would give to someone who taking leadership for first time?
Taking a leadership role is for sure a big challenge, because if you are a leader of people, you need to somehow think like them, help them, be their role model, you know? So even though it is a challenge, I think there are many positive skills and positive lessons that you can learn from that. So my recommendation is to stay calm. First, get to know the team, live by the values you have, and then guide them. As I told you in the first story, don't impose and don't make decisions at the very beginning, but help them to find their own answers and their own way. And if it doesn't really help, another very good recommendation I have learned is to have a mentor, because maybe there are some situations that you have not experienced yet, but someone else for sure had the experience to guide you as a leader to overcome those situations. So don't panic and learn to do it. Thank you for the question, and back to you. Table topic of the day, Anurada.
Okay, thank you, Shara. I would like to ask a question. A question I like very much, and she's also my friend, and who is Akansha. Akansha, I would like to one question to you. Are you ready?
Yeah, please tell.
Okay. How can we actually know we are in good leadership or doing in good way? How can we actually know we are in good leadership or doing in good way?
Okay, nice question. So, as a leader, we have many ways that we know that to know that we are a good leader or not. So, as Sarah said, that for a good leader must be have positive attitude. So, if we have a positive attitude towards that we are a good leader, and if there are many ways that we prove us a good leader. For example, positive attitude, empowerment. We have a flexibility, and we have a enough. We influence other by our words. So uh, leadership is a through leadership we influence others' view towards something. So there are many ways that we influence that we know that we are leader or not. So thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Akansha. Thank you very much for the beautiful answer. So today's questions are end up, and everybody performed very well. Oh, everybody's answer are very good. I'm very happy with your opinion. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Anurada. One big round of applause for her, because the questions were really, really good. And the stories that we heard were also very good. Thank you for your participation. And now it's the time for the feedback that we will receive from the leaders of this meeting. And as we are going there, I will give you another skill of a good leader, which is the ability to teach and mentor. One skill that differentiates leadership from many other competencies is the ability to teach. Effectively teaching colleagues or direct reports to grow in their careers helps organizations scale. And I will give the word to our general evaluator to lead this part of the meeting. And Michelle, you have many stories to share, so maybe you have another one that can also be very inspiring.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We will save that for later if we have time, because for now, I would like to hear our evaluation And where did she go? Are you here? Okay, there she is. She's right in the middle of my screen. Okay, so let's hear Yasmin's comments and feedback for our lone speaker, Tiger.
Thank you so much, ma'am, General Evaluator. I had a very big responsibility for today, I must say. Rome was not built in a day. And so is Tiger's speech. I am denying the fact that it was an impromptu speech, even though he might have had pieces of leadership built into it. I do believe that this is a speech which he has strongly worked on for a long time and has sincerely practiced. I have to say he has really improved a lot and come a long way. Tiger, you have really mastered the skill of telling the story, how to tell the story, how to make the story interesting, what to tell. For most of us, the struggle is what to tell, and somehow we decide on what to tell, but we fail at how to tell. And how to tell it on an online platform is more difficult. He has mastered even that. A lot of experiments you did in your speech, right from monotoning your voice to creating this Zoom environment, getting off the screen, coming on the screen. I could see you have had given a lot of time in practicing utilizing the screen to your advantage. Successfully done so, Tiger. I see that you have to now play the role of a director than a speaker to us. The way director can manipulate the audience and make the audience laugh, cry, fly in emotions, you have to just get to that trick. We are there with you. We are there with you for almost 80%, 90% of your speech. I could see many of us were getting emotional when you were sharing the story through your mother. It is a touching story, a strong subject, and a very strong message. But please master that art of directing us. Leave no chance for us to miss you. Like, play with us. We want to give ourselves to your hands and take that. And wisely, now when you are delivering your speech, think of as a director would do, like how to just capture the audience and give the message as to how to. I know this is not going to be an immediate feedback where I have 10 tips for you and 10 easy solution, but I want to tell you that you have improved a lot and I think you have gone to a next level. So think as to there how you can maximally utilize us, because looks like we are already spellbound to your speech. Thank you. Giving it back to you, ma'am, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Yasmin. In case some of you do not know, Yasmin was evaluation speech champion, I think 2 years ago at the district level. So you just got a sample of that. I would like to challenge Yasmin to go, using her term, to go the next level. When you suggest to Tiger to do more, I would like to have seen you take an example from his speech and say, for example, when you said this, it would have been great if you said that, so that it would, instead of just being theoretical, it would be practical. But great job there and a great speech, Tiger. Even the title, I love the title, More to Give. Okay, now, whoops, I think I am the grammarian. Do we have an accounter, Madam Toastmaster? Okay, who is our accounter? I can't see.
Akansha.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay, let us hear the report from our accounter, Akansha. Welcome.
Yes. Let me give me some time. I will show you the report. Are you able to see my screen? Are you all able?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
as per my report, just a minute. Okay. Yasmin say one time and you know one time. Sarah said but two times and you know one time. Tiger said you know two times. Anuradha used one time and you know two times. Zeri said one time and I forgot to note. He also said one time. So that's all. This is my report.
Thank you very much. I'm always impressed with people who can whip up those slides while participating in a meeting. Great job, Akansha. We are now moving on to the grammarian's report, and I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to become a twin. I will be calling on my twin. Think she's the grammarian. Yes, I don't see any grammarian. So let's call on Michelle to give us the grammarian's report. This was both easy and difficult, depending on how I, if I'm an optimist or and I am. So this was an easy one because there were so many excellent uses of grammar. It was difficult because I'm not like Titin. How does she do it? And then come up with, no, I don't. So I just have it written out. And so now I have to read it. Sarah, I loved your leadership is a set of skills in psychology that anyone can master. I love that. It shows that leaders can be made, not just born. And Tiger, there were so many excellent uses of the English language. I obviously couldn't capture all of them. Just some samples, pushing me to go where I did not want to go. That's almost sounded like Star Trek, very nice phraseology there. And my tank is empty. It was so visual. I could see the tank is empty and the car isn't going to run. You use words that we know but rarely ever use: confused, discombobulated, great, very graphic words. And let me see, was this you, Tiger? Get good people, trust them, and help them out. I think that was still you. And Jerry, I loved your three words: empowerment, trust, and coach. And also, Jerry, for somebody who says, I am not good with English, you fooled us because that was an excellent, very, very good table topics response. Well organized with an opening. You were very clear. You summarized and you mentioned your three words again towards the end. Yasmin, I just loved how you said what to tell and how to tell. And I can relate to that. There were so many other great uses of the English language. And for a group that, where most of us are really not, you might say, native English language speakers, there were very few areas for improvement. So occasionally a verb, past tense, present tense gets mixed up, but that's okay. I hear most Americans doing that as well, so not a problem. As far as the word of the day, I think I was too busy trying to write notes. I only caught that Sarah did 5 and plus. I know you did 5 and probably more. And I think Akansha you had once, and I think Yasmin had once. And I know I did it, but it's not fair because I was the one who gave it. So I had several uses of it. I did not capture anyone else, but that probably means that I was just missing it. So if you use the word of the day, just put it in the chat and say, yes, I used the word influence. Now, that's it. Back to Madame General Evaluator. And I didn't see the timer do anything, but this timer counted herself. So yeah, it's 3 minutes and 1 second. The timer seemed to be giving me a pass there on the grammarian's report. Okay, so now we're back do general evaluation. I have covered the evaluator, the accounter, the grammarian. Oh yes, I want to commend, or wait, no, the timer's report. Let's hear a report from our timer first. Ayu.
Thank you, Michelle. Today we have two special timing. First is Tiger at 7 minutes, 7 seconds, and 44 seconds. Who likes 7? At least that's one. And number 2, 44 is Tiger famous number. And then the second one is from Yasmin on the table topic, 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Nice, nice number there. And Michelle at 2 minutes, 19, Tiger 2 minutes 02, Cherry 2 minutes, so a lot of 2 today. Ayu 2 minutes 30. I think I put myself a little bit generous. It was 2 minutes 31, so I said here 2 minutes 30 because I'm the only one past the 1 second. Sarah 1 minute 37, Akasha 1 minute 02, Yasmin on the evaluator and on the evaluation 3 minutes 27. That's my report, and Michelle, over to you.
Thank you very much. And the timer gave her report in 1 minute and 15 seconds. Awesome. Now, let me see. I believe I may have about 3 minutes to give general comments about the meeting. Now, let's start with the start of the meeting. I think we started 2 minutes past the time we were supposed to start, but that's okay because we were getting the roles organized, and 2 minutes plus or minus, that should be okay. Our Toastmaster of the meeting. I love it. Whenever I see that Sarah is going to be the Toastmaster of the meeting, I look forward. I literally look forward to the meeting because you come across, and I think Yasmin already expressed that earlier before the meeting started. You are so smooth and professional, with your background and your professional look. I watch you when you're Toastmaster of the meeting, and I'm thinking, she should be on television, Univision or whatever those channels are, where you would have bilingual or multilingual panelists or newscasters or whatever. You would fit. And who knows, in a few years, we might see Sarah on Univision or whatever channels there may be. Very smooth, very professional. I loved I'm guessing you're the one who chose the theme because you were all in with it. I loved that theme choice. It allowed everyone to have their views about leadership. And I also like your use of the word intimate. We have an intimate group, so everyone can share their views about leadership. So you turned the situation to a positive. We have an intimate group, so we have an opportunity. Now, if we had 20 people in the room, then you would not have the chance to ask everyone for their comments. So great job there. Your transitions were fabulous. You always had a great transitional statement. And when things happened, like I think Anuradha, she had an issue with the technology, you stepped in and said, well, why don't I give a few more skills? And those skills were fabulous, leadership skills. You might even want to send that to everyone so they could, have those skills in something that they could print out for themselves. So wonderful job. And you set the pace, or you set the tone for being a Toastmaster. Now, moving on to the table topics. Wow. If we did not know that Anuradha was very new, it's just a guest, you came across like a real, very experienced Toastmaster. Your questions were fabulous, as I think Yasmin or somebody has already mentioned. Great questions. And because the questions were good, the respondents, I think, were challenged to also give excellent answers. Everybody gave excellent answers. Now, just one suggestion, Anuradha. It might be nice if you post the question first, kind of look around the room before you call, so that everyone is challenged to think, oh, what would I say to that? What would I say to that? And then you call the person, rather than you call the person first and then you give the question, because then everybody's like, oh, okay, that's not for me. Okay, that's just a suggestion. And there's no right or wrong, but that helps people to get engaged. So Toastmaster table topics, have I missed anyone? The timer, yeah, I always love how IU puts the background, except when I was doing grammarian, but I think that was a special treat for me. And I think I've covered everything, I hope. So at this point, let me return control back to our fabulous Toastmaster. Let's bring back Sarah.
Thank you, Michelle. I want also to thank you all for this fabulous meeting. But before giving the control to the president, I want to ask Akansha again for a small story about leadership, because she wanted to think about it.
As my story is nothing so much, but it's something like Anuradha's story. When I was in a school, that in a class, I as a leader, I will play a role. And once as a leader, I slapped a boy when I was a leader. So her sister was very angry at me that why are you slap my brother? And as a leader, I said that I am the leader, so I hit your brother. It's what amazing experience. So I recall this as a leader when I hit a boy. That's all.
That's a great story, Akansha. Very funny, but also very, it shows you as a leader, why not? And Jerry, our guest Jerry, also arrived a little bit later. We were sharing some stories about leadership. Do you want to share some stories of your own leadership journey?
Thank you, Toastmaster. You are so beautiful, and I think your leadership is a very, very good topic. I like it very much. First thing, I think leader and leadership is different. When we mention leader, we mostly refer to the person. But when we mention leadership, I think it's more like a spirit, more like a impact, influence, and how you influence the people around you. When I just want to say my own example is when I worked in one company, and I'm the low profile, not the senior manager or the general manager, this kind of management team, but I always think strategically, and I like to think big, and not only think about my own narrow, so narrow. So I like to make plan. I like to see things or business from the comprehensive perspective. So step by step, even though I'm not the bigger guy, I'm not the management team, but the people around me, they trust me, they like my idea, they hope I can take a lead in some project. And lastly, I become a senior manager in my company. So this is how leadership involved. Even though you are not a manager or leader, but you can still exude leadership. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry, for sharing your story. You're totally right. Leadership is not just about titles, but it's about skills and developing some psychology skill set. With this, I want to return back the word to our president, which is our leader, our maximal leader in this club. And maybe she also has some stories to share with us. Thank you very much. And the floor is yours, Jasmine.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarah, for leading us today for this wonderful session. As the leader, Sarah, you had touched upon the very important and key aspect for Toastmasters. Toastmasters is not only about improving speaking skills, it's also about developing leaders. So any Toastmaster journey is incomplete, or we haven't explored Toastmaster's journey to the fullest if we have focused only on one part of it, that is speaking skills. My call to all of you, each one of us here, let's try to be holistic and see both the aspects, experiment both the aspects, and use the platform of Toastmasters to explore and expand both the aspects, that speaking skills and leadership. At the same time, I would also like to say that Roseburg speakers would be really willing to contribute towards your journey in helping you develop both speaking skills and leadership skills. So whoever is watching this video, all of you who are not member of Roseburg speakers and storytellers, please do consider joining us and be part of this journey together. We grow together. This is the common mission for Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers Club. And coming to club business, I'm very glad to announce that one of our club members has made it to the next level in the speech contest. Mary Pearson, she has congratulations, Mary, if you're watching this video. She's not here with us, but she has successfully made it as first runner-up at the area level. Sorry, at the next level, division level, apologies. So I am sure we are going to get more leaders and speakers made up through our club. Any last comment from any one of you? I invite anyone who would like to share, guest member, before I officially close the meeting.
Yeah, I just would like to cheer on anyone who watched this video. If you Roseburg Speak, I am very proud as a member of Roseburg Speaker and Storytellers, and we are actually the home of past district director in District 7, Michelle Albalim. We are the home of 2021 evaluation 22 or 21, Yasmin, 21, yeah. District evaluation district champion for the evaluation speech contest. We are the home of Area 21 director, Sarah Diaz. We are the home of everybody, the home of Area Director 22, Yasmin Telwala again. Even Silpa Singhal is the one of our member, division director. Tiger, the past division A director. So everybody here is doing something. So if you would want to grow as a leader, come and join us in Roseburg Speaker and Storyteller. Over to you, Madam President.
You forgot about somebody. She forgot about somebody who's a division director in District 87.
Yeah.
Which would be IU.
Thank you. Thank you, Tiger, for reminding, and that is a you. That is the best conclusion of the meeting. Could not have thought of wrapping it up in a better way. So thank you, everyone. And here I officially close the meeting. Please stay around.